Alright, this is the second last SCP of the author Basic Math Girl. Wait, in progress cataloging sample, what is this? Yeah, no, it is. Okay, I was right. So, the last one, we had them last weekend, yes. With 2606? Yeah, 2606. Yeah, which was like flesh of animals in amber that if you eat them you can actually like sense what the animals are. Yeah. Okay, Basic Math Girl. You wrote Ambassador from the Mole People. Behold the Underminer! Or if it's just him. That would be kind of hilarious. Yeah, because the Incredibles are canon in the SCP Foundation universe. Object class safe. Special containment procedures. SCP-2622 is to be kept in a standard humanoid containment chamber furnished with a bed, a dresser of clothes, and a writing desk. Paper and pencil to be supplied to SCP-2622 upon request. SCP-2622 is to be provided with 300 grams of dietary supplements -alpha consisting of 25 parts protein paste to 75 parts soil 3 times daily. SCP-2622's chamber is to remain in near complete darkness unless research access to its cells desired, in which case the lights may be raised to allow low visibility. So this person's a mole for sure. SCP-2622 is generally cooperative with Foundation personnel and is not considered a major containment breach risk. Yeah, because it's probably too bright outside. They're like, nah, we kind of like it here. Any personnel with level 2 or higher security clearance are permitted to enter SCP-2622's containment chamber with no special clearance required. Oh, so you can just walk in there. Okay. The personal effects in SCP-2622's possession upon initial containment are to be contained in a locker in non-anomalous item storage. Requests by SCP-2622 for these items to be returned are to be summarily denied. SCP-2622 is a roughly humanoid creature, approximately 1.80 meters tall and weighing approximately 85 kilograms. Subject is male and of unknown age, but is believed to be in the middle adulthood range due to several physiological indicators, such as graying hair and early onset rheumatoid arthritis in the hands. SCP-2622 is a member of an unknown sapient species, seemingly unknown. Being adapted for subterranean living. Subject's eyes are approximately 15 centimeters in diameter, pretty big, and are protected by transparent nictitating membranes lacking more traditional eyelids. Subject is extremely sensitive to light, experiencing extreme ocular pain in brighter than dim lighting conditions. In addition, SCP-2622's nose occupies the entire front of the skull and is ringed with 22 fleshy appendages. Said appendages are partially prehensile and highly sensitive to touch, as well as audio frequencies, electrical currents, and vibrations within solid substances. SCP-2622's hands are covered in light gray scales, limiting the touch sensitivity, and its fingers are limited in motion and tipped with 5 centimeters long claws. As a result, SCP-2622 examines objects primarily via smell and nasal touch. The rest of the subject's body is covered in fur, primarily dark gray black in color, with aging-induced pigmentation loss on the head, upper back, and shoulders. Subject is typically dressed in Foundation-provided human clothing, with a professed fondness for khaki, Allure shirts, and men's sun hats. Reminds me of what's his name again? It's been so long that I watched Lilo and Stitch. But like the bigger alien that stayed with Stitch and Lilo in the house. SCP-2622 speaks fluent English with an affected English accent, but denies that its way of speaking is an affectation. The subject claims to be an ambassador lodged to humankind from a civilization that it calls the Terra Interior Empire. According to SCP-2622, the Terra Interior Empire encompasses over 500 million kilometers of tunnels and caverns within the Earth's crust, inhabited by animals, plants, and sapient species completely unknown to humankind. Notable inhabitants and landmarks of the Terra Interior Empire as relayed to Foundation researchers by SCP-2622 include... By the way, 500 million kilometers of tunnels is fucking insane. Is that even possible on our planet? So we have Interians, the species to which SCP-2622 belongs. According to SCP-2622, they are a peaceful race with a highly advanced culture and technological standard. Anopsidones, a race of sapient reptilian creatures described by SCP-2622 as violent, aggressive, and warlike. SCP-2622 has given conflicting accounts to interviewers of the Anopsidones' diplomatic status with the Interians. The interview log for further details. I am interested. Christopolis. I like only saw like cry and I was like, Kryptonians? We have Superman down there, but of course not. Christopolis, the capital city of the Interior Empire, located directly beneath the Earth's magnetic North Pole. Buildings in Christopolis are supposedly constructed from a green organic crystal that grows into directed shapes. The fireplane, like D&D, the fireplane, a cavern located beneath the South Central Pacific Ocean, with nearly constant volcanic activity that prevents plant life growth. The fireplane is supposedly inhabited by silicon-based crystalline animals as well as a sapient species of hunter-gatherers called the Rockmen. The Great Underland Sea, a body of water located underneath the approximate center of the continent of Africa, populated by a prehistoric sea life ranging from the Devonian to the Cretaceous periods, 419 to 65 million years ago, in temporal period of origin, as well as the mysterious sapient species of fish-like humanoids. The Savage Country, a cavern of immense size given by SCP-2622 as 100,000 square miles. Again, what kind of sizes are we talking about here? Approximately 2.6 million square kilometers in area, located underneath the island of Greenland in the Arctic Ocean. Tropical in climate and supposedly inhabited by dinosaurs. Like, again, maybe because I'm not really maybe our Earth, like if you if you were to like slice it open and then place a plane on one of the sides, maybe that would fit in there. I'm no mathematician. I don't know, but like I gotta say like 2.6 million square kilometers sounds like that. I'm just saying it sounds impossible for our Earth to have. SCP-2622 claims that humankind engages in frequent diplomatic relations with the Interior Empire hundreds of thousands of years in the past, and that a cataclysmic event, the nature of which SCP-2622 refuses or is unable to specify, permanently divided the two cultures. I gotta say, it sounds more like they must be in some like the tunnels are like some sort of like wormholes that lead to a different place, because there's no fucking way that any of this just exists inside Earth. Just because of the size, just because purely size. Unless he's just making up the size just to make it sound grand. Or unless the moment he came to the surface he grew in size. And before he was like tiny. Because he's a mole, right? Foundation investigations have so far failed to substantiate any of SCP-2622's claims. SCP-2622 was discovered wandering the maintenance areas of the London Underground, suffering from mild to moderate malnutrition and dehydration. This poor mole man oh god. That is also like depending on which underground station they take in London, like if it's central, that shit is loud as hell. After recovering while in Foundation custody, SCP-2622 excitedly commented on how bloody much humankind had improved, and repeatedly related its personal history to all present Foundation medical and research personnel. SCP-2622 claims to have been cut off from the Interior Empire since the aforementioned cataclysmic event, and has repeatedly requested that the Foundation re-establish contact with the Interior Empire and allow it to return home. In complete search of the London Underground by Foundation field agents uncovered nothing of interest save SCP-2622's personal effects, detailed in Addendum 1. So we have an interview log right here, show interview log. The following interview was taken on 2013, 10 days after SCP-2622's initial containment. Okay, interviewer researcher Quainian. What a name. Interviewee, of course, SCP-2622. Okay. Good morning, SB2622. Oh, finally, room service. I ordered my pate 2 hours ago, and I don't know what you just called me, dear boy. Well, I suggest you address me by my full and proper title. There's no room service here, 2622. I'm here to... No room service? What kind of hotel is this? The service is bloody abominable. See if I ever stay here again. This isn't... I'm here to interview you. I'm here to ask you some questions. Oh, well, I suppose the lack of service can be overlooked. This once. So what would you like to hear, my dear boy? This Terra Interior empire you come from. Oh, great Interior. How I long to return to the motherland. We've been unable to determine any evidence of its existence. Well, of course you wouldn't be. Not since the great disaster. I suppose I was the first you heard of it. I was the first you heard of it. That's correct. Just as I suspected, wiped from the cultural memory. Can you explain how this great disaster came to pass? Oh, I wasn't present at the time, unfortunately. I was in Terra Exterior on a diplomatic excursion trying to negotiate the first interlayer trade routes. Oh, if we had only known the terrible fate that would befall our world. Do you have any idea as to what might have happened? I bet you 1,000 crystal coins it was those dastardly anapsidons. Why do you think that? Always jealous of my people they were, squatting in their muddy hovels and gazing up at our glorious crystal spires. I suspect they meant to knock us down a peg. Yesterday you told Doctor that the anapsidons were, quote, the most valiant and gentlemanly brothers in arms an Interian could ask for. You can't predict those anapsidons, my dear boy. They're always up to something. I see. Ever since the 8th Battle of the Ice Forest, after we turned the tide against them in the Great Interior War, they've been out for revenge. It looks to me as though they've gotten it. Were you present at this Battle of the Ice Forest? Indeed I was, my dear boy. Slew a dozen anapsidons myself. When did this battle take place? Redacted. The date given, if correct, would make SB2622 approximately years old. Damn. That's quite impressive. Oh, thank you. If only I still had my medals. Can you tell me a little more about this ice forest? Oh, it's beautiful there. We're not wrecked by a war. A frozen cavern 1,000 miles wide, deep beneath the land you surface dwellers called Korea. Ice crystals the size of cities. I thought that was where the Thorn Wastes were located. That's what you told security officer 2 days ago. Well, tectonic shifts, you know. Oh, of course. I think that's about wraps it up for now, 2622. Thank you for your time. Oh, one thing before you go, dear boy. Yes? I like some materials on which to wrap my memories. It might be a long time before I can return to my homeland. I'd like to tell my story. I'm sure that can be arranged. Thank you, my good man. You are a gentleman and a scholar. Yeah, I guess. And log chapter 1 through 17 of SB262's in progress memoirs concerning the adventures of the eminent and honorable gentleman ambassador to Terra Exterior in the worlds below, above, and beyond are currently available for research access by any personnel with level 2 security clearance or above. I'm not sure how trustworthy his memory is, so right. And at the end, I'm still sitting with the idea, what if it's just a regular mole that just became big? And it has this weird fantasy about yeah, you know, we used to be friends, but now we're not. And it used to be underneath that place, but you know, tectonic shifts, you know how it goes. And then 1 personal effects of SB2622, 1 backpack, 1 sleeping bag, 1 pillow, 2 sets of clothes. 3 packages of snack food, 1 open, a cardboard cigar box containing 11 facsimiles of military medals constructed from assorted detritus, including ball caps, info, and twist tied. Okay, I don't know why. I immediately had the flashback to well, I do know why, because it's very similar. I have flashbacks to when you create your character for D&D and you have the Explorers pack, and I was like, is this a D&D character that just got with the fire plane being a thing? I was like, what if it's just a D&D character that just became real? Copies of the following books: A Princess of Mars, Edgar Rice Burroughs, Marvel Masterworks, The X-Men Volume 1 Stan Lee, Wait a minute. Marble Masterword. I want to see something. Hyperborea, Clark, Ashton Smith journeying to the center of the earth. Jules Verne in the island of Dr. Moreau. Yeah, no, this looks like a regular X-Men. Because I was about to be like, I'm about to like look up if any of these are. Actually, let me keep on looking. If any of these are. Yeah, because I'm trying to see if his memories and the books he read are basically being confused with one another. Which would explain why the whole, like, with the Anaptidons, like, oh, they're close to us, and no, we're actually big enemies, because in X-Men we have the whole, you know, two mutants relationship with humans, like, oh yeah, we are super close, we're best friends, and also, no, we hate them. And sometimes even mutants to mutants, it's the same case, you know? So I think, yeah, I think this person, is confusing fiction with reality. This little mole guy. But hey, he's not hurting anybody. And as we saw before, it does say you can just walk in and just have a chat with him. Which at the end sounds like he seems pretty chill with that idea. Just walk in, like, hey, how you doing? How's it going? So, tell me more about your world. Which, that's what he's supposed to be doing anyway. Is to talk about his world, which just works perfectly fine for the Foundation. They're like, hey, this is an easy job. No complicated work around to try to get information out of this person. He's just willing to tell us anything. Except the only problem is we cannot confirm any of the stuff he's saying us. And also he's contradicting himself multiple times. So, but hey, let him chill. He seems like a cool dude.